Today I have a fun idea for how you can make easy money with your art. I will show you a few tricks that will help you create multiple illustrations quickly and start selling them right away. There is a new trend I noticed on Etsy, stained glass style art. Not actual stained glass, but illustrations that imitate the look of this 3D glass effect. It's eye-catching and you can turn it into wall art, print it on t-shirts, mugs, or even create a calendar filled with this kind of designs. In this video, I will walk you through my process of creating one of these illustrations so you can follow along and make your own. I'll be using a little help from AI to make it faster. If you're not into using AI, no worries. You can skip the first step and start from your own sketch and line art. Now, if you're wondering how actually we are going to sell this kind of art, the answer is simple: print on demand. With print on demand, you create your artwork once and apply it to as many different products as you like. This gives you more chances to sell and earn from a single design. It's fast to set up and super convenient. So here's how it works. You upload your design to a print-on-demand platform, choose the products you want to offer, and whenever someone makes a purchase, the platform prints it and ships it for you. No inventory, no packing, no shipping headaches. And that brings me to Gelato, the world's #1 print-on-demand platform and the sponsor of today's video. There are a lot of print-on-demand platforms out there, but I love using Gelato because of how smart and sustainable the system is. They work with over 140 local production partners across 32 countries. That means that your customers receive their orders faster with cheaper shipping, because the product is made near them. For example, if your customer is in Europe, they won't have to wait weeks for a package from the US. Their order is printed locally, often with the same country, and delivered in just a few days. In fact, 90% of Gelato's orders are produced locally and arrive within 5 days. That's great for customer satisfaction and also for the environment. That really matters to me as an artist who wants to create responsibly. So in today's video, I will show you how to create stained glass style illustration and turn it into a beautiful piece of wall art. But if you prefer different products, don't worry, Gelato has tons to choose from. I've seen this type of design printed on mugs and it looked amazing. You can also make t-shirts, hoodies, tote bags, calendars, cards, phone cases, pretty much anything. I think this kind of art would look stunning on a phone case, so maybe I will try that also later. If you want to try Gelato for yourself, you can sign up for free using the link in the description. Plus, if you place your first order within 48 hours from signing up, you'll get 50% off, so it's a great time to test it out. Okay, let's get started and create the stained glass illustration. As I mentioned, you don't need a lot of skill to create this style. We'll start with a photo we want to turn into stained glass art. You can find inspiration online, but make sure that you check the copyright if you plan to use someone else's image. Personally, I recommend using your own photos. This is the safest option. Here I have my own photo of some flowers and I'll be using this. Okay, so let's go to the ChatGPT, and when you log in, you can just go here to the image generator. I already have here everything set up, but I'll show you what to do. You have to tap here on this plus, upload from computer and upload that photo that you picked. And then just type in here the prompt. I use here this prompt: turn this photo into a stained glass illustration. And this is what I got from it. I would say it looks pretty nice, but I thought it was too much of little lines, the gray lines over here. So I asked it to change it even further. I wrote here, make the black line bolder, take away the small thin lines in the petals. And this is what I've got. And I like this illustration and I'm going to use it now. So to use it, you can just tap and hold this and save it to photos. So before we jump into Procreate, let's open Gelato, go to your dashboard, go to the product catalog, and then let's go to wall art. So as you can see, you have here different options. You can just go here straight to the posters, or maybe I think this kind of illustration will look also nice as an aluminum print. I think this might be quite fun. So this is up to you which option you will pick over here. You can also check maybe this acrylic print. I think this would be also very pretty. If you want to use your posters with hangers, you can go to these options. I'll just go here for the normal poster. So from all of these options, last time I used here, I believe this one, classic matte paper poster, and it turned out really nicely. You can see it over here. And today maybe I'll try this one. Classic semi-glossy paper poster. So over here you can check the sizes. So you can decide what size you want to create. As you can see, you can make it quite big. So once you decide on your size, you can renumber it, and then you can make the canvas of this size in Procreate. I'm going to make mine on the A3 paper size. So now let's go to the Procreate. Tap here on the plus to create new canvas. And you can make it like this. Just tap here on the plus here, put the dimensions you want. Make sure to pick your 300 dpi. And then in the color profile, use this one. This is good for printing, okay? I already have here my size canvas picked. It's over here. And we can start creating. So first, let's import here our photo, the one that we created in ChatGPT. So go to the Actions menu, Add, and then pick here Insert the photo, and pick that photo. We have to make it bigger so it will fit the canvas. Okay, tap here to finish this. And now first step we are going to do will be outlining this again. So we can turn down the opacity of this, tap over here and turn it down, like this. And now let's make a new layer by tapping here on this plus. Let's pick your black color. And let's pick a brush for this. We can just use here the monoline brush from calligraphy. Okay, pick your size. Okay, I will pick the size 70 for the bigger elements, and then I'll make the brush size a little bit smaller for the smaller elements. I want to make sure that my lines will be nice and not shaky, so I'm going to go here to the Actions menu, Preferences, Pressure and Smoothing, and make the stabilization a higher number. I'll put it here at 41%. Okay, so now just take your time and outline the elements. I recommend you try to outline it quite well on the lines that you can already see here, because later in the next step you'll have a little bit less work this way. But if you don't worry, we are going to fix it. So over here, for example, when some parts are missing, I'm just adding my own line like this. So I'm going to outline here the bigger elements. And then, for example, these background parts, I'll make them with a thinner brush size. Okay, so I finished here with the bigger brush size. Now I'm going to take something a little bit smaller and outline the rest. I'll make it maybe 47. Okay, I think I'm ready now. I think I outlined everything. Now we can turn off the image for a second. This one. So we can see if we have some mistakes here and we want to clean it up. So take the eraser now, tap on it again. We can set it to the same brush, so calligraphy and monoline brush. And just go around your drawing and fix some mistakes if you'll catch something. Okay, I'm happy with this. So now we can bring our image. And we're going to turn up the opacity to about 71%. This way we can see which lines are ours and which ones are from the image, and we can still clean it up. So for this, let's take the smudge tool. Let's tap on it again, and we can set it also to calligraphy and monoline brush. Let's make it a little bit bigger, about 44. And now we can just go around and see if you have maybe some lines that are not overlapping. Let's go here to our image, the colorful one. And now we can just move this back in here under the line. Okay, so we don't have here some ugly lines like that. So just go around your drawing and fix it this way. Okay, so I'm done. We can bring back the opacity of our illustration to the 100%. And now we can apply here some fun effects to make it look more like a stained glass illustration. We need to add here some kind of light. For this, let's go and find a photo of light. So I would say let's find a photo of some kind of sun rays and maybe some clouds. When I'm looking for images, I like to use a website called pexels.com. Usually the photos here are copyright free and you can just use them. So in the search, I typed sun rays, and here are some of the illustration I got. We are looking for some kind of nice light and some clouds. So maybe this could be nice. Maybe even this water illustration would work nicely for what we are doing. But I'm going to go here with this one. Okay, you can just tap here and download it. You can also just tap first on it and see all of the information about it. As you can see, it says here it's free to use. And you can go down here and find similar ones too. Okay? So when you find something that you like, you can just tap and hold this and save it to photos. Let's bring this photo to the Procreate. So let's go to the Actions menu, Add, and insert the photo. And pick that photo. We have to make it bigger so it will fit the canvas. I don't want here this hill, so I'm just going to move it like this. Okay, this will be fine like that. Okay? And now we can use here different blending modes and few effects to make it look nice. First, let's just duplicate this so we can have it untouched. Swipe on it to the left and pick duplicate. And we can just hide this layer over here. Let's go now to the layer that is underneath, the one that we can see, and tap here to change the blending mode. So you can start going here through the different modes and see how this will be affected. You can turn down the opacity, so it's not maybe like too distracting. And now you can pick what you like the most. We want to add here some kind of like a glow and effect that the sun is coming through this. So for example, this divide looks nice. Luminosity is also nice. Pin light, linear light, vivid light, hard light. I like here this color dodge, so I'm going to take it and I'm going to turn down the opacity of this for now. I'll make it 56. We're going to come back to this in a second. But first let's duplicate this again. So swipe on it to the left and pick duplicate. And we can add here another effect. On top of this, let's change the blending mode of this. I have already tested this out and I picked what I like the most. So here I'm going to go to divide. Like this. I can turn down the opacity of this, maybe for now about 39%. And we can add here bloom effect to make it glow. So let's go to the adjustments and take here bloom. Swipe your pencil on the screen to add the bloom size. And then at the bottom you can adjust the other settings. Okay, so you can see how this is changing now. Okay, I like it this way. So my bloom size is 39, transition 71, size 58, and burn 44. Let's tap here to finish this. If you want, you can still adjust the opacity of this, but first let's go back here to this one, the color dodge layer. We can add here a colorful effect. Let's go to the adjustments and take here this one, chromatic aberration. Swipe your pencil on the screen to start adding this effect. As you can see, you're getting here some colorful lines. And you can move this point now to adjust the position of this. I'll move it down somewhere here like this and make this a little bit bigger, so I'll swipe more. Okay, So my chromatic aberration is 52, and I just move this point down to the right. Let's tap here to finish this, and now we can also add here the bloom. So let's go to the adjustments and take bloom. Let's make it glow a little bit too. Okay, for me this is enough here. So my bloom size is 14, transition 67, size 22, and burn 55. Let's tap here to finish this, and now we can just adjust the opacity of this. I will turn it down. I'll make it here 33. Let's add here now some more light to this. Let's make a new layer under the outlines over here. We can change blending mode of this to add. And let's pick here yellow color, something quite bright. Let's pick a brush now. Let's go to airbrushing and take soft brush. Let's make the brush size about 9%. And we can now just add here some light manually like this in few different spots. This will bring here some nice light here and make it look really nice. So randomly just place here some spots like this of light. Now let's make the brush size maybe smaller, 5%, and we can edit a little bit more precisely somewhere. Okay, I think this is enough. And now we are going to duplicate this layer. So swap panel to the left and pick duplicate. And we can change blending mode of this one to overlay. Let's make this spread a little bit nicer. For this we can go to the adjustments and take your Gaussian blur. Swipe your pencil on the screen to the blur size. I'll make it here 17%. And now we can just turn down the opacity of this. So it's not too strong. This one, the overlay layer, I'll make 66. And now the add layer, maybe I'll make it here 65. Okay, to make it look a little bit more 3D, we have to add some shadow from those wires. So let's go to the layer of them, the outlines over here, and let's duplicate it. So swipe on it to the left and pick duplicate. Let's take the layer underneath here, and we can change blending mode of this to multiply. We are going to take the arrow tool, and we are going to move it. So over here at the bottom, pick uniform option, and I'm going to tap here on the screen a few times in the bottom right part. Okay, so this is now already like moving here and creating here some shadow. Let's tap here to finish this. We are going to blur this. Let's go to the adjustments, take Gaussian blur, and we can blur this here maybe about 6%. Okay, we can still move it a little bit more if you want to. You can move it this way or back this way. Depends how this looks for you. We can turn down the opacity of this so it's not too strong. I'll make it here 47. And now I see I have to move it back a little bit. So I'll take arrow tool again, move it back like this. And now let's duplicate this layer. So swipe on it to the left and pick duplicate. And we can take here this bottom one and change the blending mode of this to overlay. This will give here nice tint depending on the color that is on. We can make the opacity of this one bigger. I'll make it here about 76%. Now we should add here some light to those wires. So for this, let's make a new layer on top of it, over here. And let's set it here as clipping mask. So tap here and pick clipping mask. We can change blending mode of this to add. And let's change the color. Let's take almost white color over here, like this. We can use the same brush that we have now. Let's just make it smaller, 3%. And we can now just go around those outlines in few spots, creating here some light like this. Maybe I'll make the brush size even smaller. It's too big. I'll make it 1. Okay, so just add this here like that. You don't have to be very precise, and you don't have to add it everywhere. Just go in few spots. We are going to still add here Gaussian blur in a moment. So Just go all over your illustration and edit in some spots. Okay, you can zoom out and see if more or less you covered everything, like you didn't leave one spot totally without it. I think I'm good over here. So now we can just add here small Gaussian blur. Let's go to the adjustments and take Gaussian blur. Let's make it here maybe like 4%. And now we can add here bloom effect. Okay, and I see, for example, here I'm going to have to fix it. It's a little bit too much in there. But overall, I like it like that. So my settings are bloom 14, transition max, size 29, and burn 40. Let's tap here to finish this. And now we can just take here the smudge tool. Let's set it here to the airbrushing and soft brush. I'll make it now 3%, and we can just move this like this, make it a little bit softer this way. Okay, I'm happy with this. So now I can just turn down the opacity just a little bit. I'll make it here maybe about 86%. Okay, when this is ready, your illustration is basically ready. You can still go back here to the other layers and maybe adjust the opacities of them. Maybe I'll add this light a little bit stronger here. I think this is good like that. So my art is finished, we can save it. Let's go to the Actions menu, Share, and save it as PNG file. Now that the illustration is finished, I will show you how easy it is to upload it to Gelato, turn it into wall art product, and add it to your online store. Geato integrates directly with Etsy, Shopify, Wix, Amazon, and more. Connecting your store only takes few seconds. So I'm back here to this page and I can just tap here to add to the store, pick my store, and then I'm ready to upload here this design. As you can see, I forgot to pick the different size, but that's fine because now I can just go over here and pick the size I wanted. So that was size 8.3 I have here. This one I'm just going to delete, so I can just tap over here and I got my size over here. I can pick also different sizes. I'm going to pick here A4, I'll pick A2 and A1, okay? And just to show you something, I'm going to also pick here this one, 50 by 70. Okay, so I'm here now in the A3 size. We can drop the design over here. Tap here and pick your illustration. And now just tap over here to edit. So it looks like that. As you can see, it's been added to all of the other sizes of poster. You can tap here and see how this looks. Okay, this actually doesn't look so bad. So to show you what I wanted to show you, I'll pick another product size. So I'll go over here and I'll take maybe something square, this one, this size. So it's over here. And as you can see now, this doesn't fit well. We can adjust it, but first, before we adjust it, we have to just tap over here. So we are going to change only just this one, not the other illustrations too, how they fit on that poster. So now you can just make it smaller if you want to. But of course, smaller doesn't make much sense. So you can make it bigger and adjust the position of this to pick maybe different composition. Maybe for the square one, something like this is also nice. So I'm going to keep it. And as you can see, our other posters are still fine over here. In Gelato, if you want, you can still add here text. You can go here to the text, tap on add text and add something if you want to. You can use here some ready graphics. You can even personalize it if you want to. Or use an image from the Shutterstock. I'm not going to do this. I'm happy with what I have over here, so I can tap here on the preview to see how this looks. This is how this illustration will look like on the wall in this size. If you want to check how this will look in that square, you can tap here. Now tap on the preview and see now this adjusted. So this is actually quite small. but I like how this shows exactly the size of the poster, how it would look on the wall in the real environment. So once you have picked here everything that you want, you can go here to continue to mockups. And here you can pick your images that you will show in your Etsy store. I'm going to keep this one. I think this one also looks nice. There are plenty of them to choose from. So just pick what you think will match the most your illustration to showcase it the best. Maybe this one I'm going to pick too. And I know that quite trendy now are this kind of mockups. So painting by the wall. I'll pick this one. And maybe this is enough. If you want, you can tap here and download all of those images. And now we can go here to continue to details. So here you can just type the title of your poster and the description for it. You can also use the help of the AI over here. Just type what it is and you will get your description and title. Okay, so you have now everything ready over here. Of course, if you want, you can still change it. You can also change it later in the Etsy store. So just tap here to apply. Here at the bottom, you can also pick any of those options if you want to. And then just go to continue to prices. You can adjust your prices over here if you want to. You can set your margin maybe to 60%. Tap here on update. And you can see your prices now. You can check how much this will be if this is 70. I think I'll make it here maybe 55%. Okay, so this is the price for the customers and this is how much you will make. And this is now actually just for Poland shipping cost. You can change this here and set it maybe for a different country. Let's see for the UK, for example. You can see how the shipping changed. And now you can also see here the price guide. Actually, my price is a little bit low over here. So maybe I should adjust it and make it a little bit more. I'll make it 60%. Okay? When you're happy with your prices, you can just go here to continue to review. You can check everything if this is fine for you. And then just tap here to publish. So this is now in Etsy draft, so you can go to my Etsy store and check it out. So as you can see, everything is already here. All the images that I picked are here. I can still go back and add some more if I want to. The description is here. If you want, you can still adjust the prices. So now if you would like to update this, you can go back to Gelato, to the stores, go here to that poster over here. You can go here to edit mockups. As you can see, if you update it, you will lose what you already picked, but we can pick the same stuff. So I'm going to maybe add here some more. You can see there are plenty of mockups over here available for you to pick from. Okay, then tap here Publish to Store, and this will be updated in your Etsy store. We can check it in a moment. So I'm back to my Etsy store, and as you can see, now I have here more mockup pictures. And when you're ready, you can just hit here Publish to make it visible for your customers. And that's it, your new product is in your store. Now you can focus on creating more designs. You don't have to worry about printing, packing or shipping. Gelato handles all of that. And if there's ever an issue with an order, Gelato offers 24/7 customer support to help you and your customers. So if you ever want to start an art business without the stress of managing inventory or logistics, I really recommend giving Geato a try. Again, the link to sign up is in the description, and don't forget, you get 50% off your first order if you place it within 48 hours. You've got nothing to lose by trying, but you might miss out if you never start. So take the leap and see what you can create. I hope this video inspired you to start your own print-on-demand journey. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!